This is day one of Handes Days challenge to reading Handes article. Okay, this is article number one. Buying insurance against climate change. The third National Climate Assessment Report released on May 6 by White House and representing the work of more than 240 scientists, warn us about our hazardous future and offers many good ideas for dealing with it. But a most important point may be lost in the crowd. After discussing how to mitigate the coming dangers, the report says commercially available mechanisms such as insurance can also play a role in the providing protection against losses due to climate change. That scientists should have been big, bold letters and underlined that because of substantial risks that effort to stop global warming will fail. The implications are startling, and we must encourage private innovation and government support to ensure against the devastating financial loss that will result. The problem is an age-old one. Each country has strong individual incentive to take a free ride on the rest of the world. To find self-serving or nationalistic justification for adding carbon dioxide and other pollutants to the global air supply, such behavior which in some way might beneficial the individual countries while hurting everyone else. It is known in economics as an extraordinary problem, and the work has never solved one of the magnitude. We must face fact. There is a real risk of new kind of climate related disaster. In this listed book, the climate casino risks under certainly an economic for a warming world. Yale University Press. My Yale colleague William D. Nodius described the uncertainty of global warming's specific effects around the world. We are taking major gambles with our environment, he says. Expert surprises. In March, a United Nations report identified with high confidence a number of risks that will be visited on different people equally. It spoke of risks of death, injury, ill health, or disrupted livelihood in low-lying coastal zones on small islands, and that is just the start. Food system may break down. There may not be enough water for drinking and irrigation. economic ecosystem may be started. Strated. In short, we need to worry about the potential for catering than expanded disaster, especially those are concentrate their foray on specific place or curriculum, many of which we cannot now predict it. That's why global warming needs to be addressed by the private institution of risk management, such as insurance and securitization. They have deep experience in smoothing our disaster effect by sharing them among large number of people. Sharing them, the people or entities are hit hardest are helped by those less badly damaged. But those institutions need way to deal with such great scale issues. Government should recognize that by giving those businesses a profit in incentives to prepare for those inactively descripted disaster. After all, fire insurance does no good you unless you buy it before the house burn down, and you have to diversify your portfolio before the stock market crashes. Fortunately, we are too late to take action to ensure against some climate risks, and yet this has not been major element in most of the climate debate. We already have weather derivative that can help, like 50 contests in 30 countries offered by Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Mercantile Exchange. A ski resort can already buy protection against inadequate snowfall, and a city can protection against too much snowfall next winter by in effort taking opposite side of same futures content, thereby pooling their opposite risks. There are also categories bonds like 3 years, 1.5 billion Everglades Relate issue sponsored in this month by Citizen Property Insurance Corporation. It would provide relief to insured of foreigners hit by a bad hurricane. In such an event, the bond holder would bear losses. But there is a problem with instruments like those. They tend to focus on elementary short-term risks and don't hedge against the increasing cost of disaster over distant future years. Yet, if the problems of global warming become more serious, they will very likely be long-lasting, raising some complex thought to quantify issues. Some kind of crises like hurricanes may remain intermittent by their tendency toward severity may build in a slow, hard to predict process and in complex geographical patterns. Physically, it's hard for most of us to take the initiative on long term, ill defined risks. These scholars hard work hard work who are see and Mark B. Paley of the University of Pennsylvania and Stacy McMorrow of the Urban Institution showed this is their book Insurance and Behavioral Economic Improving Decision in the Most Misunderstood Industry. But they argue that if we are not aware of them, those psych- physical, psychological impediments can be reduced, and the urge the innovation of long-term risk management context that address the problem of climate change. Some progress is being made. The Caribbean Custom Risk Institute facilitated in one recent example of institutional sharing of guidance risks. Then there is the illusion of small island states formed in 1990 as response to climate change are scattered around the globe. But if sea level rise substantially, all of them will be afforded. Those countries generally are not big enough to have headland that can help castle rivals in climate class. The Alliance has been arguing for an intentionally approach to dealing with such losses and damage. Those are only begins. We have a crucial need to bring innovation to our risk management institution. We need to make them flexible to clarify their long-term internationally legal status, to develop mechanism and index that can be the basic of long-term risk management context, and to educate the public about them. Most important, we need concert about now to build a mechanism that will provide real help for the victims of climate change disaster.